Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Madison. My name is Kelly Crocker and I'm one of the ministers here. Today I'm joined by my colleague, the Reverend Kelly Asprooth-Jackson, and by the worship team of Linda Warren, Drew Collins, Melissa Adams, Stephen Gregorius, and Daniel Carnes. A very special thank you to our teen choir for being with us this morning. Good morning and thank you. And thank you to all those who are volunteering in many roles this morning. Ann Smiley, Jeannie Hills, Ed Zapala, Alice Delaquest, Mary Myers, Maureen Muldoon, Laura O'Flanagan, Jackie Tomberlin, Barb Avery, Isa Garosi, and Jane Richardson. It truly takes a village to pull this together in the morning. Thank you to all those folks. Thanks, everybody. At First Unitarian Society, we question boldly, listen humbly, grow spiritually, act courageously, and love unapologetically. If you're visiting us today, welcome. We're so very glad that you're with us. If you'd like more information about the congregation, please stop by the welcome table after service. It's through these doors to your right. It's next to the elevator. And we also hope that you'll be able to stay and join us for coffee hour immediately following service, which is also right out in the Commons. We wanted to remind you that next Sunday from 1 to 2:30 here in this room, we will be holding a workshop that is an information and organizing session for trans liberation. The workshop will ground us in the realities for trans individuals and families in today's world, and we will start the process of helping people who need to move from legislatively unsafe places to safer ones. So more information is on our website and in the red floors, and you can also talk to me about the workshop after service. And for those connecting with us virtually today, welcome to you as well. We're so very glad that you are with us. We hope that you'll be able to take a moment to stick around after today's service and watch the announcement slides to find out more about what's happening here at First Unitarian. And now, a very special thing coming up, Art in the Right Place in 2 weekends. And we've got a little something we want to show you. Thank you, Dan. And thank you to Cheryl for keeping this year's art fair going with the help of many, many volunteers. Thank you to all of you who have signed up to help with Art at the Right Place in some way. And now, I invite you to join me in a moment of silence as we center ourselves and bring ourselves fully into this time, joining together once again in community. We come into this sacred space, this hallowed hour, made sacred by our presence and intention here.
We celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another. and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits.
We come with deep gratitude for everyday blessings, for the dependable changing of the seasons as they follow one another, for smiles and waves and spoken greetings, for being with others in worship, for babies, puppies, kittens, and the wisdom of the old.
Everyday blessings that sustain us every day. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us.
And we invite you now to rise in all the ways we do, joining together in the words of affirmation as we light our chalice. Like the light from this flame which touches each of us, may our generosity connect us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality, as we covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources with each other and the world. Let us cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. And before we join together in song, we invite you to take a moment to turn and greet those around you.
Good morning, good morning. Let's join together in our opening hymn, number 68. Come, ye thankful people, come.
And now we invite forward anybody who wants to come up and share a story with Melissa today.
I am so happy to see so many friendly faces this morning. My name is Melissa. I've had the pleasure of meeting many of you, but certainly not all of you, and I am going to share a story with you all today about one of my favorite things in the whole world, and I'm not talking about creme brulee. That's right, Nora, music. I have a book to share with you that is written by an author that probably many of you in this audience know, and you're going to immediately think of two characters when I tell you the author's name. The author is Mo Willems. Who does he usually write about? Oh, come on. Aggie, Elephant and Piggy, that's right, Aggie. So, rough news, Elephant and Piggy do not make an appearance in this book, but it's still an awesome book by Mo Willems, and I'm excited to share it with you. Because by Mo Willems, performance by Amber Wren. You can see in the inside of this book, it shows some music. This book is about the power of music. Because a man named Ludwig wrote beautiful music, a man named Franz was inspired to create his own. Because many years later, people wanted to hear Franz's beautiful music, they formed an orchestra. Because a man had practiced since he was a kid, he was asked to join that orchestra. Because a woman studied night and day, she too was asked to play. Because many others loved and practiced their instruments, there were enough musicians. Because someone created a poster about Franz's music, tickets were sold. Because the train conductor stopped the train at the Grand Concert Hall, the orchestra conductor arrived. Public transit. Because the orchestra librarian had copies of the score, operations are important, thank you, Terry, the orchestra rehearsed. Because workers checked the lights and the seats and swept the floors, the grand hall was ready. Because the time had come, the ushers opened the doors. Because someone's uncle had caught a cold, someone's aunt had an extra ticket for someone special. Because the usher helped the aunt and her special guest, they found their seats. Because everyone was there to hear beautiful music, it was quiet. In row C, seat 14, sat the girl with the uncle's ticket. She heard the beautiful music written by the man named Franz, and it changed her. The girl was changed. From that moment on, the girl learned everything she could about music. Soon, she started to write music too. Because, like Franz, the young woman had something to share. It fed her. Do you know how to play the piano too?
I do as well.
Oh my goodness, so many musicians. Over time, the woman became very good because she worked very hard. One night, her music was discovered because she was also very lucky. Then, she was invited to perform her music at the Grand Concert Hall because so many people wanted to hear it. Her composition was dedicated to the uncle in row C, seat 14, because it was his ticket that brought her here. And here you can see the sign that says World Premiere Symphony Number 1, The Cold. And that night, someone else was changed. That is how it happens. The end. Oh, thank you. Now, before you all go off to your classes, we have another song to sing with you. And because many of you sitting out there know this song, it's number 1064 in the Teal hymnal, I invite you to sing with us on verse number 3, if you so wish. Also, for you who are sitting here so close to me, because I have a 5.5-year-old myself, I know that what kids like to do after RE is go outside and play in the playground. But because it is...
I'm 5.
You're 5? High five, 5.
I just turned 8.
So because it is so cold outside, I know that it's not going to be very much fun to play in the playground today. So I invite you to come play some music with me in the music room at 10:30 after you're done with religious education. I would love to sing with you because I love music and I would love to share some more music with you. Now I'm going to invite you to stay sitting here. I'm going to walk over there. You all can listen to the teen choir sing, and I'll see you later. Oops. You can stand up.
Standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean.
And now we can sing the children on their way to their classes. Oh, you can make the world so bright, and you can turn the day from night, and share your gifts and spread your light, and learn what you know when you hear someone, to know when you smile, to know when you cheer someone you have always known inside. A hand that touches one indeed, a gesture any helping deed, and all can plant this caring seed, for kindness lights our road.
Our inspiration this morning from the poet Jane Kenyon. I got out of bed on 2 strong legs. It might have been otherwise. I ate cereal, sweet milk, ripe, flawless peach. It might have been otherwise. I took the dog uphill to the birch wood. All morning I did the work I love. At noon I lay down with my mate. It might have been otherwise. We ate dinner together at a table with silver candlesticks. It might have been otherwise. I slept in a bed in a room with paintings on the walls and planned another day just like this day. But one day, I know, it will be otherwise.
The Haida people of the far Pacific Northwest of this continent, what is today called British Columbia and Alaska, they tell a story about a very ungrateful child. He was born to the Haida, he was raised among them, he was Haida, but he did not respect the customs and practices that he was taught. In particular, he did not follow the rules about eating salmon. Salmon are very important to the Haida. Salmon are born in fresh water, but once they get big enough and strong enough, they swim downriver to the sea. They spend most of their lives living in the ocean. But at some point, they decide to turn around again, to swim back upstream, swimming very hard, all the way back to the same places where they were born. Those are the places where they spawn and then die soon after. This upriver flow of adult salmon is an excellent source of food for the Haida. It's an important part of their diet. But equally important is the practice of returning what remains of the salmon, the bones, the scales, anything not eaten, after the people are filled. They return these to the river. They sing songs of gratitude and praise and thanksgiving to the salmon. In this way, the cycle is renewed. Something is returned to the place from whence it came. The people continue to eat. This is what the boy never did. When he was hungry, he ate. When he was filled, he would drop whatever remained wherever he was. He paid no attention to the responsibility of returning these things to the river. So it happened that one day his mother made him a meal, as she did basically every day. And on this particular day, he was so excited to go and play with the other children down by the river that he didn't even touch it. he just pushed it aside and onto the ground. Then he left to do what he wanted to do. He went down to the riverside, and he was playing some game or another, and he jumped onto a stone in the middle of the river. But he misjudged his footing, and he slipped. And the current caught him, and it carried him very, very fast. Away, swiftly, down, under the water, so far that he could not get back up again, he could not breathe, and so the boy died. Now, having passed into being a spirit, he flowed along with the river. He passed other places where the Haida were returning the bones of the salmon to the water. And as the bones entered the water, the spirits of the salmon entered with them. In life, those spirits had looked like fish, but as spirits, they appeared as people, salmon people. The boy feared that they would be angry with him because of how he had behaved towards so many of their kind in life, but they were kind and welcoming. They swam alongside him and they invited him to join them in their village at the bottom of the ocean. When they reached that place, the boy saw that the village was much like his own. It was full of people. It had a river winding alongside it, and that river was also full of salmon. The salmon people were very generous and hospitable towards the boy. And when he asked them, "What should I do when I am hungry?" they told him, "Just go down to the river, catch yourself a fish. Be sure to return whatever you do not eat to the water." The boy followed this practice very carefully. He honored the tradition that he had ignored at home, now in this new place, wanting to be respectful to his good and gracious hosts. So he caught a fish, he ate his fill, he carefully returned everything that remained to the water, and just as he placed the bones into the river, a child sprung right out of it, landed right next to him. A healthy young girl, just about the same age as him. But she landed poorly, and she fell because one of her feet was missing. She said to the boy, "What did you do with the missing part of me?" He realized that although he had been careful, he just wasn't very used to the responsibility of cleaning up after himself so thoroughly, and he had left a fin on the ground. He found that fin, he put it into the river, and her foot was restored. The boy lived among the salmon people for a season until the elders announced that it was time for the salmon people to return to the fresh water. By then, the boy had become part of the village. He belonged to them now, and he went along with them. They swam upriver much harder than swimming down was, but he worked at it along with the rest of them, and eventually they made their way back to the place that the boy had come from, where he could see from the river the village where he was born. And as he was looking at the sight of it, thinking of the life that he had led before he was a salmon, someone fished him out of the river. That someone happened to be the boy's own mother. She looked down at the healthy, hearty salmon that she had caught, thinking of what a good dinner it would make. And she noticed a circle of copper scales on its head that reminded her of a necklace she had once given to her own precious child. She did not eat the salmon. She cradled it in her arms like a baby. She took it home with her, cooed over it, cared for it. And over many days, its scales began to fall away. Its fins sloughed off until there was nothing left but a boy. Her boy. returned to her now, returned to his people. The salmon boy told the village what he had experienced among the salmon people, and he taught them everything that he had learned from those experiences. Count your blessings. Gratitude will help you to appreciate what you have and to find joy in the having of it. It will make you more generous towards others, more patient, more kind, and more at ease and secure in the exercise of each of those virtues. The author and gratitude advocate, Christy Nelson, says that this is what grateful living is: returning to the noticing of all that is sufficient, of all that is extraordinary, all that already is in our lives, enough to take our breaths away, and using that to help us get through life in a way, through difficulty, through challenge, uplifted and enamored. And if taking note of and taking the time to appreciate each thing that you have to be grateful for, each opportunity, each comfort, each relationship, if that works well for you, then I only want to encourage you in doing it. But it might also be the case that the practice is not working very well for you right now, that a gratitude journal or any other regular practice of acknowledging one's blessings is not yielding a greater sense of ease and generosity of spirit for you. If counting your blessings doesn't seem to make you any happier, this does not mean that you are somehow broken or deficient. As an article published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2009 argued, the scientific evidence for the count your blessings hypothesis is mixed. Studies attempting to document it sometimes show some improvement in mood and well-being when people recount positive events in their lives. At other times, though, there's no meaningful difference from the control group. The authors of this paper explain this as being a problem of familiarity. The more that an experience is integrated into our lives, the more familiar it becomes, the more adapted to it we are. Indeed, the more we think about it, the greater our sense of its naturalness, its explainability, its inevitability usually becomes. So that even very happy truths about us tend to drift into the background of our lives. But in this paper, which describes a series of 4 studies which the authors conducted, the argument is made for the psychological benefits of imagining life without something good that we already have. For example, think of some event that has happened in your life for which you are grateful. Then, imagine how that thing might not have happened. How something random or unlikely might have taken a different course with a different outcome. This sort of exercise, according to these studies, proved more beneficial to a personal mood and sense of well-being than simply describing the good thing that actually did happen. The paper calls this the George Bailey effect. It takes its title from It's a Wonderful Life, the classic Christmas movie, in which protagonist George Bailey comes to appreciate the life that he has after being shown a world in which he was never born. That story is one of a sort of personal dystopia. And the Haida story of the salmon boy has elements of this as well. experiencing, whether through imagination or divine intervention, the literal death of the self, or a world without us, or just our own lives, with some vital turn not taken, or some wrong one taken instead. The genre of dystopian fiction does this same thing for the world, imagining circumstances which are unquestionably worse than whatever the readers might happen to be at that moment. Such stories of nuclear apocalypse or environmental devastation, global authoritarian hegemony, or utter social collapse are usually warnings of one type or another. Heed the follies of this fictive world, lest you share its sorry fate. But dystopia can also challenge us to appreciate our actual world just as it is. Not because it is perfect, but because despite its innumerable flaws, it is not that terribly bad. In British novelist P.D. James's The Children of Men, which was eventually made into a film as well, the disastrous root of the story is a very simple one. For some unknown reason, human beings cannot have children anymore. The world teeters under the strain, not just of millions upon millions of people suffering the anguish of wishing to be parents but not being able to, but also the profound collective meaninglessness of knowing that the last generation has already been born, already reached adulthood, that no matter what anyone does, there is no future for the human species. And not a certainty that comes with a quick and abrupt event like an asteroid impact or some cataclysmic war, just the quiet, numbing awareness that each year there are far fewer people than the last. These circumstances make the plight of characters who can maintain their humanity in the face of such futurelessness all the more inspiring to me. Held up like a funhouse mirror to our own actual time and global predicament, this and stories like it are a reminder to me to be grateful for the world that we actually do have. If you despair for the state of things and worry over what feels like a poverty of hope, well, babies are still being born. Sometimes we need a strong corrective to shake us out of a perspective that cannot sense what there is to be grateful for in ourselves, in one another, and in the world around us. The poet Mark Nepo observes that in the particularly hard or painful moments of life, we tend to either make what we're going through everything or nothing. It's a seesaw. We make the struggle and fear a descriptor of life and get caught in that and project it to being a worldview. But it's not a worldview, it's just our experience. So the challenge is to open your heart to what's happening beyond your part of the moment, to the moment of life everywhere. Mark also tells a little story about visiting his grandmother, who was then in her mid-90s at an assisted living home where she lived. He found her in her room, just sitting on her bed looking dejected. Asked what was wrong, she noted how dim and how gray the day outside was. Mark went to her window and he looked out of it. He saw how the light seemed in the middle of the day. And he realized that it was not because of the season or the weather, it was because of the glass on the window itself and how dirty it was. When he pointed this out to his grandmother and made to clean it, she saw the humor in the situation and said, "Ah, got a dirty eye. See a dirty world." Imagining life without the things that we rely on, the events we celebrate, or the people we cherish, can help to clean away the spiritual grime from our lens upon the world. Ironically, by picturing something even more dim. It can open us up to really appreciate what is, and being driven by that appreciation, to act towards what can be. Kelly helped us to enter into this time with Jane Kenyon's observation that it could have been otherwise. A refrain that reminds me of a picture book from my childhood about a series of bizarre mishaps that befall a grandfather who responds to each one with the same expression. It could be worse. Now I want to lead us out from this time of considering the world and back towards experiencing it and hopefully appreciating it. Flaws and wrinkles and all. With these words from W.S. Merwin. Listen, with the night falling, we are saying thank you. We are stopping on the bridges to bow from the railings. We are running out of the glass rooms with our mouths full of food to look at the sky and say thank you. We are standing by the water, thanking it, standing by the windows, looking out in our directions, back from a series of hospitals, back from a mugging, after funerals, we are saying thank you. After the news of the dead, whether or not we knew them, we are saying thank you. Over telephones, we are saying thank you. In doorways and in the backs of cars and in elevators, remembering wars and the police at the door and the beatings on stairs, we are saying thank you. In the banks, we are saying thank you. In the faces of the officials and the rich and all who will never change, we go on saying thank you, thank you. With the animals dying around us, our lost feelings, we are saying thank you. With the forests falling faster than the minutes of our lives, we are saying thank you. With the words going out like cells of a brain, with the cities growing over us, we are saying thank you faster and faster. With nobody listening, we are saying thank you. We are saying thank you and waving, dark though it is.
We invite you now into this time of giving and receiving, where we give freely and generously to an offering which supports the work of this community and also the work of our outreach offering recipient, who this week is Wisconsin Faith Voices for Justice, an alliance of people and communities of faith working together for the common good in our state. They, or perhaps we should say we, as this congregation is a member of Wisconsin Faith Voices for Justice, advocate particularly for public policy to address the root causes of poverty, hunger, homelessness, and economic injustice. There's multiple ways to share your gifts. Baskets will be passed here in the room, and you'll see on the screen that you can donate directly from our website or the text to give option. We thank you for your generosity and your faith in this life we create together. Each week we gather, carrying in our hearts the joys and the losses of our days. We bring them here and share them, knowing they are held in care and in support. We light a candle for all those who are feeling the heavy weight of recent Supreme Court rulings, and for all those worried of what is to come. May you feel the love and support of community as we face uncertainty and unabashed cruelty. And we light a candle of ongoing lament for the violence which plagues our world. Fervently, we yearn for peace here at home and around the globe. And we light one final candle for all that lives in our hearts, the celebrations, the sorrows, the joys, and the loss. May we know they and we are held in love. If you will join us now in a moment of prayer and contemplation with words from Christine Voltaire Paintner. Spirit of generosity, we come to you with hearts overflowing with gratitude for your abundant creation. As we awaken each morning, help us to remember this day is a gift. This breath is grace. This life a wonder. Remind us with every flower we see, every act of kindness, every moment of connection to something so much bigger than ourselves, to whisper thank you. Cultivate in us a sense of awe and trust in your lavish grace. Let each word of thanks we offer expand our hearts until delight inhabits us and we know love as our sustenance. Amen.
Now I invite us to once again rise in body and or in spirit so we can sing together our closing hymn, number 1010 in the teal hymnal if you're using one, and if you are, there is a middle verse. Second verse will only appear on the screen. We'll sing 3 verses total. The third verse will use the replacement word in parentheses on the second page, food, instead of time. Precious day, for all gathered here, and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. May you notice what is quietly good. May you give thanks with your whole body, not as performance, but as deep practice, a way of staying rooted in the sacred, even when the wind picks up and swirls around you. Blessed be, go in peace, and please be seated for the postlude.